Today on Flick Knows, we're going to talk about the quick stats as well as Frisco short-term rental regulations. Stay tuned. Hey everybody, thanks for checking in for another episode of Flick Knows here. Today we're just going to run through the quick stats as we typically do, and then also talk about Frisco Town Council meeting that happened I think 2 nights ago, and just give you a quick update on what they're doing for short-term rental regulations there. Quick stats are, in the last 7 days we've had 23 new listings, 23 new listings, 27 properties have gone pending, so more properties going pending than came on the market. Closed, we've got 31 properties that sold and closed, and then 39 properties price reduced. We've been around 40 per week for a couple months now on the price reduced train. So kind of some interesting statistics there. August of 22, so just last month, we ended with 1,004 properties. September of 21, we ended with, so a year ago, we ended with 884, so we're above where we ended September of last year. Today we have 932, so what's that, a little over, not quite 100. So we're kind of getting pretty close to being on par with last September inventory-wise, and then today there's 409 options to choose from. The rest of that 932 are pending properties. So pretty stable real estate market up here. Really interesting thing is we haven't quite been able to digest what the new interest rates are going to do to the market, right? We're at 7-ish right now, and chances are by the end of the year we might be at 8. I wouldn't be surprised if we were in the 8s on interest rates here. And then if you look at the most recent Fed data of what they're predicting, they're going to be raising rates the next time they meet, and then probably maybe even the first time they meet in 2023, maybe not, and then probably bringing those rates back down. So I do anticipate that we're going to hit the 8s for interest rates, and then we're going to probably drop back down. So if you're a cash buyer, great time to buy. Really great time to buy. If you can carry a property with those higher interest rates, also I think a great time to buy. And the reason is because you're going to lock in a rate, let's say for 30 years, or maybe you do an ARM or something like that and get a better rate on like a 15-year ARM or a 30-year ARM, where you can have 5 years or whatever. Really able to negotiate with a seller right now. We may have to work a little bit finding those sellers that are more nervous than not to negotiate. But as a buyer, I think you can go in and throw out some offers. I don't think we're really in like the huge lowball market right now, but I think there's definitely room to negotiate. Totally depends on the seller, how nervous they are. And then you refinance in 6 months to a year when we think that the interest rates will come back down. So you get the buying power. Unfortunately, you have to pay the high interest rates, but you only do that for 6 to 12 months, and then refinance into a better interest rate, and you've got the low purchase price and the lower interest rate. Just a strategy to consider right now if you can qualify and carry that property for a bit. Other thing to talk about right now, short-term rentals in Frisco. Town Council met about 2 nights ago or so, and they passed on the first reading a new ordinance there about short-term rentals. There's currently about 23% of the available housing units in Frisco have short-term rental licenses. They passed a cap of 25%, so there is a little bit of wiggle room there left for those people who are currently buying, but not a lot, right? And so if you are considering Frisco, I do urge you to purchase before that reading gets passed on October 11th. I do think that we're going to see a few people running to get a short-term rental license, regardless of whether or not they're going to use it, just so they have that in their back pocket for the time being if a cap gets hit. So if you're considering Frisco, probably going to want to try and do something before October 11th. Any property that is under contract before October 11th will be available to get that short-term rental license. So any questions about that, certainly reach out to us. And as always, any questions, reach out to us, teamflick@summitliving.com, and we are here for you. Hope all is well. We'll catch you next week for another episode of Flick Knows.